Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great signing day. It's kind of unique. You're here with this being the second signing day of the year, but really excited. Excited about all the additions to our program. The young men that have committed to be a part of this great institution, this program, and to be able to represent Florida State football and all the Seminole family. It's definitely a special day to celebrate. And it's been an exciting morning for everybody here. With another great addition that just got announced a little while ago, but in Destin Hill. And but I do want to take this moment to just thank everybody, all of our staff, the different departments that have been involved academically, just in all aspects. This has been an unprecedented year when it comes to college football recruiting, and to have a dead period for the better part of this season. Going all the way back to March, where kids weren't able to come on campus. The things that we had to do virtually, being able to connect with the parents, the families, being able to portray the vision of what these guys, their future is going to be, and how they fit and why they were the right fit for Florida State, and what we're looking to do here moving forward. It's been a tremendous workload, but we have a great staff, and definitely appreciative to all those that took part in helping put together this class. When you look at this signing class, it's a wonderful mix. We've got a tremendous group of high school players that are going to be joining our program. We've got junior college and 4 years transfers that are be coming in. All that are bringing tremendous value to what not only who we are, but to where we're going. And this is going to be a key class that's going to help continue to push our program to where we're wanting to go. Great football players, but also just a tremendous group of young men, in who they are, what they want to accomplish, the relationships that they've built, and the impact that they've made through this part of their journey. And we're excited about them and what they're going to be able to do here in Tallahassee. And there is potential for a couple more additions within the class. We're excited about those possibilities, but we're definitely looking forward to what the future holds. And you really think we were able to address many of the needs that we had, not only immediately, but also for what the future holds for this program. So you're definitely grateful to all the families and all the student athletes that allowed us the opportunity to recruit them, and obviously allow us into that journey. And we're excited about where we're going to be able to go together. And so with that, I'll open it up to questions.
Hey, Coach, what excites you about Destin as a receiver, and how I guess excited are you about that receiver class overall?
It's incredible. He is a complete receiver. When I've watched Destin since he was extremely young in high school. He really kind of burst onto the scene, early in his high school career, and has just continued to get better. Coming from Edna Carr High School, one of the top programs in the state of Louisiana. He's been a dynamic playmaker for them. Coach Bryce Brown, does as good of a job as any coach that I think they're in the state, but also just within the country. How he helps develop these guys, for what they do on the field, but also who they are off the field, and seeing Destin and the way that he's matured. There's not an area of his game that he has not put focus into that development. He's a deep play threat. He's a great route runner. He's very smooth in all of his actions. Has wonderful hands. And then when he gets the ball in his hand, he can definitely do great things with it, with the yards after catch. A tough physical receiver, and really just a very selfless teammate. You see the work that he does when he doesn't have the ball in his hands, and the willingness to block, the willingness to do some of the dirty work, and also will bring a great dynamic in our special teams units as a kick returner, and all the things that he brings to the table. But I think be able to add him today, coupled with Malik McClain and Josh Burrell, that are here on campus right now. I mean, that is a great trio of young freshman receivers that I think have an unbelievable ceiling for what they can accomplish, but also think they're going to bring a dynamic that can help our football team immediately, for who they are and the maturity that they have.
Next will be Chris Nee from Roll 247.
Sorry about that. Hey, Mike. Can you talk a little bit about the effort that David Johnson has made in Louisiana since you guys got to FSU, and just the work he does in that area and how appreciated he is in that area?
Well, Coach Johnson is, number one, heart-led, and it's all about relationship. And I'll never forget the first time I met him when he was the head coach at St. Aug High School. The way that he treated, coaches that came in from the college ranks. It was one of the first places that I went when I became a full-time head coach. And I remember that interaction, and I remember watching him coach his players. I think Leonard Fournette, who's going to be playing in the Super Bowl, Ty Matthew. I mean, those guys, they were eighth graders and freshmen at the time, and to see the development that that they had under his leadership, it really spoke volumes to who he was as a man, and to see him and the way that his career has gone in the coaching ranks and the relationships that he still has there within not only the city of New Orleans but also the state and the Southeast region. I mean, he's a great coach, but just a wonderful person, and being able to rely on those relationships, especially in a year like this where we weren't able to get out as much as we'd want to be able to be in the homes and to be able to share the vision face to face and the evaluation, all aspects. I mean, having those relationships has been big, and to be able to pull a couple of the best players in the city of New Orleans here to Florida State is exciting. And we're excited about what that does, even for our future, in the classes moving forward.
This will be Kurt Weiler from Tallahassee Democrat.
Hey, Mike, you talked a little about it. I mean, I think you talked in December about at the time wanting to sign or bring in as many as 3 more receivers in addition to Josh you had aboard on that time. I guess just obviously it was identified as a need, but how happy are you with that group as a whole in terms of, I mean, you're looking for guys who can make early impacts, and it seems like you have a couple, even if you can't talk about one of them yet.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've spent a lot of time identifying our needs, and I'm excited about the group of young men that I have on this football team and guys that are returning on this team. But it's about also surrounding them with the right pieces. And for us, throughout this entire signing class, it's about finding the right fit, not only from the physical skill sets of what it's going to take for these guys to come in and make an impact. Some of them are going to have an opportunity, like you mentioned, those 3 receivers are going to have an opportunity to compete day one to be able to impact this football team in a big way, but also making sure that the talent that they're bringing is we're surrounding them and their teammates with the right guys and the right mindset, the right approach, and these guys they're addressing those needs, and I think we've hit an absolute home run on that position, and like you mentioned, there's still potential of adding one more that we'd be really excited about.
Next will be Matt Baker from Tampa Bay Times.
Hey, Mike, you guys obviously were pretty active in the transfer portal here lately. What's the thought process behind that? Why is that a way you guys wanted to go?
Well, we want to have great balance within our roster, and you look at our roster this last year. I mean, we had 75% of it was freshmen and sophomores. So to be able to add the experience that we've been able to bring in, some of those guys are still, going to be in the sophomore or junior class themselves. But when you're able to bring in guys that understand what it takes, and they've already had that production at the college level. I mentioned some of the the restrictions that we've had due to the dead period of not being able to get out in person and to have those in-person evaluations. Well, when you get guys that have already done it at this level, and you just have a better kind of sample base of who they are and how they fit and what we're trying to do. That helps kind of bridge the gap, and so we're able to add tremendous leadership. But also guys, like I mentioned with the high school group, that just fit Florida State and fit what we're looking to do here moving forward. With already having tremendous production here at the collegiate level.
Next will be Matt Marshall from Orlando Sentinel.
Mike, I know you guys talked a little bit about this with having to kind of go virtual this time around for recruiting. Do you feel like it's something that you guys can continue to utilize, or coaches can continue to utilize, even when the dead period is finally lifted, or is this something that you think is a one-time thing because based on what's been going on in the country?
No, I mean, I think it provides a great value to be able to showcase your program in a variety of different ways, but there's still nothing like face-to-face. And when you look at the signing class and even with Destin, signing here today, he was one of the few young men that were able to get on campus. And the success rate we had with guys that were able to be on campus from whether it was the December, there at the end, the week that I was here, or from January until March, it was remarkable. The guys that had got to be around our staff in person, they got a chance to get a feel for what we're looking to do and how we're going to do it. Those guys jumping on board and being a part of this signing class, and so I'm excited about what the future holds. And we've put a huge emphasis in building the relationships already with the 22 and the 23 class, even the 24 class, reaching out. But for us to know that we're going to be able to get them on campus, we're going to be able to have that experience where not only you have the virtual benefits of what we've learned and some of the things that we've been able to do, but on the flip side of it, they get a chance to be face to face and truly you feel the emotion and kind of the overall culture that's being built here, and not only where we are but where we're going, and that brings a lot of excitement to these young men and what the future is going to be.
Next will be Pat Burnham from the Osceola. All right, we'll go to
Coach, I got it, Derek. Sorry about that. Hey, Coach, obviously you addressed the transfer portal, and it looks like the one-time transfer rule will be adopted at some point this spring. How does that change your philosophy from recruiting moving forward and finding that balance of high school recruits where you build your culture and your transfer portal guys where you're trying to fill your gaps, as you talked about?
We're always going to address the needs that we have, from all avenues. But there's no doubt about it. We're in the most talent-rich state, in the country. Getting our start by recruiting, the Florida high schools, the South Georgia, high schools, and be able to build our roster from there, and then being able to branch out, in regards to that, I think is critical. And that's why there's an incredible anticipation for our coaches to be able to get out, and continue to build those relationships in person and to be able to get kids and coaches, here on campus, because that's where we want this program to be built from. And in this first year, there were a lot of challenges when it came to that. And you look at our signing class. And, I think it's 4 or 5 of the signees actually had high school coaches that are former Seminoles, because we wanted that, when you're asking, and really having to take that leap of faith of who the young man is, what they're all about, the work ethic, the desire, the passion that they have to be great, the attitude which they bring to the game, which are all factors that we usually get to see, in person through those evaluations. I wanted to link up with guys that know what it takes and that have been here, that have been in that locker room, that understand that Seminole spirit that is a necessity for us to have to continue to get this program back to where it deserves to be, and that was a critical piece. So I'm excited about the balance, but there's going to be times where you find young men, whether it's a junior college ranks or from a 4-year transfer that are the right fit for what we need and what we're looking for. And, we're gonna always be able to evaluate that with each situation that comes up. But, this year it was unique. It was a unique circumstance, and, really with how our roster was composed and, people getting this extra year. But, also, some of the needs that we had, with the right young men that we're able to bring into the program.
All right, next will be Ira from War Chant.
Between what you guys did through the transfer portal and then also what you guys are doing in 2022 with that class, do you feel, in the way you're finishing this class, do you feel like there's some tangible momentum behind the program in recruiting and other aspects going into this offseason?
I think so. It's every day that we get is an opportunity to continue to invest in the relationships, and there's been a huge focus on the 22 class. We've been recruiting them very hard, just through all methods of connecting to the high school coaches, the electronic correspondence, and now even starting here this week, being able to call those prospects here through the dead period. We're trying to maximize the opportunity, and when these kids get a better sense of who we are and understanding of where this program's going, there is a great excitement. There is a sense of momentum for where we're headed, and to utilize those opportunities, in building those relationships. I think that's what's attributing to it, and so I'm excited about it, and I'm excited about what the future holds. Definitely looking forward to getting back to our new normal. Here hopefully in mid-April, but. I think it is an exciting time. These kids, they see what's coming. They when they get an opportunity, and I've encouraged all of them to reach out to our players. Reach out to the guys that we have, and be able to ask those questions. What is their experience? What do they see from our program? And it's been fun, hearing the response from whether it's the players or their parents, that have talked to the guys that we have that are a part of the program, that have been through the transitions, and the energy which they're bringing, and encouraging these kids, these student athletes, to be a part of it. And it's really an exciting time for sure.
Mike, I know you discussed Destin Hill's game overall, called him a complete receiver, but I was hoping you could elaborate a little bit on the aspect of his game, the speed. He's been, I think, tied in the 4.3, 4.4 range. I guess one, do you think that's legitimate based on the tape and film you guys have reviewed? And two, just how special is that type of attribute to have on the roster?
I've watched Destin for a long time, and I've never clocked him in a 40, but I know it's fast, and so I'll take whatever time somebody states. I wouldn't put it past him, and he can absolutely run. But speed at receiver, that's a great thing to always have. But being able to utilize that speed and to take that for whatever you run a 40 in, to take that to game speed and to be able to run routes, to be able to create separation, to be able to be efficient in your movements. That's what makes great route runners. You see guys that have run in the 4.6. Jerry Rice, one of the greatest receivers to ever play. He was probably a 4.6 40 on his best day, but he was able to play at an elite level speed on game day, and that's what I see from Destin. Is he takes true speed and he's able to implement that to his game, play in and play out, and that's what makes him such a dynamic threat. And we're excited to be able to have him, and coupled with the great speed that he has, just what he can do, the versatility he has at the receiver position.
Hey, Coach, when it comes to the NFL draft, you hear about need versus best player available. For you guys, with however 2 or 1 scholarship you might have remaining between now and August, I guess, how do you kind of balance knowing what your needs are, but then the uncertainty of the portal, and could there be somebody that would make you move off of the need because they'd be a best available player?
Well, there is one position-specific need that we're absolutely going to address, and then they will probably get to a best available. And there's a couple different options out there that we are discussing and exploring. But at the end of the day, it still has to come down to the right fit. And I've been excited to see how this roster has kind of come about, and really throughout the recruiting cycle, and now getting to today. you see the needs that have been addressed and met, that it's going to couple with some things that we want to do schematically, but also some positional needs that create further competition. I'm excited about the development that I'm seeing from a lot of our young guys that are going through our off-season program as we're into our 4th week, and to know that we're going to be able to have spring practice. There could be something that shows up during spring ball that might add to a need that we have for this next season that with the transfer portal that could be addressed. So we're going to be patient through it, but also knowing that that we do have some specific thoughts of what we'd like to accomplish with these last couple spots.
All right, we'll go back to Pat from the Osceola.
Hey, Coach, you've talked a lot about the youth of the team, and obviously it's one of the reasons that you brought in the 7 transfer portal guys. What have you seen from those guys that you like, and what are they bringing to this team even after a month that you're seeing?
No, I mean, I'm so very pleased with that group, and I know I mentioned earlier this semester that the emphasis of getting guys that could be here now to be able to have this experience of being in our off season, going through our tour duty, getting a true understanding of the culture and the day-to-day expectations that we have within this program, and to see them build relationships, and it has been a joy to watch those guys that are here on campus. And how they're pouring into each other, how they're building the relationships, not only with the younger players, but with the guys that are experienced and have been through the journey. And they are, the thing that I can tell you is they're all workers, and that is something that we believed in whenever we brought them here. But to see that play out. And their investment in the team and the program, that's one of the I guess the greatest joys here in this first month is that you see guys that are willing to do what they say they wanted to do or what they want to accomplish, and those relationships are forging at a great rate, and these guys are competing every single day in what they're doing, but they're competing together, and that's always a joy as a coach to see that mindset and approach in all that we're doing. So they're doing a wonderful job, and definitely very, very pleased with that group and where we are right now.
We'll go back to Ira.
You got some players, because of the COVID, rule change, where allowing players to come back for another year, even if they maybe exhausted their eligibility. Emmett Rice, Leonard Warner, some other guys like that. What have you seen from them in their kind of last chance at college football?
It's been great watching them as well, because those guys they made the choice to return. I think we got 6 guys they have embraced the opportunity. I mean, it's knowing the off season and how we work and the things that we ask them to do, to see them really jump all in. I think last year there's probably a lot of nervousness with a new coach coming in and not knowing what to expect. Well, these guys fully knew what to expect. They understand it. They understand the expectation and the growth that is necessary, and you're seeing them truly try to be leaders in that. And a guy like you mentioned, Leonard Warner, who even explored other opportunities and just made that decision as this is what he wanted. He could see, he had full understanding and explanation for what his position and the role that he was going to play. And I mean, you see him out running. I mean, he's 255 pounds and he's running as good as he's ever run. And that is somebody that has went through a position change here, and to the excitement that I have for him. And you mentioned Emmett Rice. Look at Bavion Johnson. I mean, Devontae Taylor. Those guys. It's exciting because the leadership that they have and the work that they've poured into the younger guys. I mean, it's they're carrying themselves in a little different light. And the Miko Dotsons. I mean, that's what college football is all about. And it's exciting to see where they are. I think Jordan Wilson's the only one I didn't name, so I couldn't throw him out there. But he's those guys are going to be tremendous leaders for us, because they're leading the charge in what we're asking them to do and helping these young guys understand what it takes.
All right, we'll go back to Aslan.
Coach, you already knew you were going to open with Notre Dame, but with the schedule kind of being set, just knowing that everything's real, and you guys hope that there'll be a full stadium for that game against Notre Dame. Does a game like that, does that dovetail into making the guys want to work and underlining the urgency that you want to see in the offseason?
No, absolutely, and I mean, I love having that game coming out the gate. It's going to be the only game on in college football. They're Sunday night. I have to be totally transparent. I find myself pulling up YouTube clips of a fully packed Doak Campbell Stadium, and it gives me goosebumps because I have not had that experience. And these players that have come in, they know the responsibility that we have. They know the opportunity that we have, and the work that's going into this offseason, just trying to get better each and every day. We know the challenges ahead, but man, it is an exciting time, and these guys are really pouring in and to the daily experience of growth, and that's what we have to continue to do throughout the course of spring practice and everything leading up to that kickoff there in September.
All right, we'll go back to Matt Marshall from Orlando Sentinel.
Mike, I wanted to ask about that. Actually, spring practice do you anticipate having a normal type of spring practice, or do you think it'll be still a little bit different based on what's going on with the pandemic and stuff?
Man, I can tell you that I'm as excited about this spring practice as I've ever been. It's one of my favorite times as a coach because that's where the identity of your team gets to be established, and the toughness, the details, the fundamentals, the adjustments. Right now we have a year under our belt. We've got a great sense of where our guys were, but also know what they're building to be, and so we're going to be able to adapt and adjust throughout those 15 practices, and we're going to maximize every one of them. I'm fully expecting that we're going to handle that and utilize those days the best that we can. That doesn't mean that there's not going to adjustments might have to be made. We'll be willing and ready to do that. I think we're well versed in adjusting to change, but we're all excited about what spring ball is going to be for us, but we still have half of the winter program to continue to grow and build to put ourselves in the best position when we do step on the field there. It's March 9th.
All right, we'll go back to Ira.
Amari Gainer and some other players have gotten, comfortable, I guess, posting photos of the scale when they step on the scale at weigh-in. And what are you seeing from some of the body transformations and now that the team's all back together during an off-season, I guess?
A lot of muscle. That's a good thing. No, it's fun. I mean, it's seeing guys like Amari, who is really grown so much over the last year, and I'm not even talking just the physical aspect of it, but just of what it takes. And even through the course of this year, he was asked to do a lot. He was playing on the edge at our stud position, but also even towards the end of the year, challenging himself and helping his team by kind of dual training there at the will linebacker spot as well, and just seeing his growth, physically, mentally, in all aspects. I mean, the leader that he is, you see somebody that's embraced the opportunity that they have, and the physical changes within our team. We're a month in, and even through that time, there's been some challenges and adversity that's shown up, but these guys are committed to improvement, and Coach Storms does a remarkable job with them, and these guys they're working together, and we've instituted some things to help with the daily accountability of helping each other grow and stay focused on what we need to do and how we're going to do it, and our guys are embracing that, and so really proud of what I'm seeing from them, and it's showing up in their bodies, and the way that they're moving, the way that they're, the efficiency of their movements, I think all things are heading in the right direction.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you guys.